Hey everybody, Oily here. This is just an impromptu chat. Kind of wanted to show what it looks like when my pain's flared up, when everything's flared up. Hold on, I forgot to turn down my external, sorry. Because I'm a goober. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to show what my pain looks like whenever it's flared up real bad with the systems coming in, the fluctuations in the barometric pressure. I just kind of wanted to show because most of the time when I come on, I try to make myself look presentable and fix my hair, put on my makeup, and today's one of those days. Oh, excuse me. I'm not saying I'm not on here to get sympathy. I'm here just to make people aware and to kind of educate people. But don't really know what's going on with me. Sorry, my eyes water when I yawn. I'm not crying, I promise. But what happens is when the barometric pressure fluctuates, I end up with, I feel like I've got a lot of inflammation in my joints, and of course it causes the headache that I have every single second of my life to flare up even more. Which is it. Anyway, it's hard to think when my head is flaring like this. And when it flares like this, I don't get online much because it feels like back behind my eyes it's inflamed. Like it's hard to just sit and stare at a computer screen for very long. I can look at screens from far away like a television set, but up close, phones and computers and things like that, it's really difficult. Hey Faith, welcome. But anyway, so I just kind of wanted to show everybody kind of what it's like when there's a flare up. My official diagnoses are occipital neuralgia, which is the damaged and inflamed nerve that's in my head from a blow. They think it's from a blow that I received to the back of my head whenever I was a teenager, like my junior year in high school. But ever since around that time, I've had a headache every single second of my life, and the pain increases or decreases, but it's always there. Times when the barometric pressure changes occur, I end up flaring up more, having increased pain. Over the years, it started out as a dull pain, and it's just continued to, hey, I have okay. Good to see you. Ever since whenever it started, it was a duller pain, and every year the constant intensity that it's at, it keeps increasing. And so a lot of times it just stays at migraine level for weeks at a time, which is almost to where I'm at right now. I'm just about to migraine level. While I'm doing this, oh, also I have fibromyalgia. I've gone on elimination diets, went 6 months without sugar or I think most glutens, things like that. So, caffeine, tried all of that. Hey, Charlotte, good to see you too. So, I went without all of that for about 6 months, and I still had tremendous pain. The one thing I did find that helped some was whenever, sorry, I don't know why my computer's so low. Let me lift it up. It was whenever I, say it's hard to think. Whenever I I made sure that I cut out foods that had aspartame in them. Within a week, I started to feel significantly better as far as my fibro goes. I'm still looking for a book, sorry. But here we go. This will work. There, let me make sure I'm in the view again. Let me go to the other screen. Okay. There, that's better. But anyway, so I found that cutting out anything with aspartame helped tremendously. And that's kind of when I started looking into more natural remedies and things like that. And the essential oils do help a lot. I have some lion's mane that a good friendly tree bonsai sent me, and she gave me instructions on how to make a tincture. There's a video for that. But anyway, so those are some things that I've been doing, but I haven't found anything to just like knock it down significantly. But I did want to show you guys that I do have, for a lot of people, this little recipe works really great. And so I'm going to show it to you. You can either put these under your tongue, a couple of drops each, or you can put them in capsules. So I'm going to go back over my screen where I can make sure that I'm in screen here, and I will show you what I mean. Well, now where did my capsules go? Hold on. Like I said, this wasn't a super planned out chat. I just thought I would share. Okay, here they are. Okay, so these are gelatin capsules, or well, they're veggie capsules is what they are. And let me close up my bag. I don't want the moisture getting to them. Well, actually, I use two when I take them by capsule, and I'll explain why in just a second. But what I do is I do one capsule with just some olive oil in it, and I just have some olive oil here in a little measuring cup, so it's organic olive oil, and I have a little bowl thing, and I just fill one capsule with olive oil, and I take this before I take any like strong oils. It just kind of buffers my stomach because I have kind of a rough stomach, and I'm working on trying to get that healed, but it happens. So I take that, and then while that's kind of doing its thing, kind of coating my stomach, I take 2 drops each of copaiba. It's a little bit of a thicker oil, so it takes a little bit longer. Actually, I do a little bit more of copaiba because I know what works best for me. I do about 5 drops, but the official recipe is 2 drops each of these oils. Frankincense. I just do a couple of drops of it. Idaho balsam fir. Kind of got 3 in there, but it was coming out and I wasn't going to waste it. And then that's the official pain capsule recipe, but I also add peppermint because peppermint, remember, if you've attended any of my classes, you know that peppermint makes any oil more effective. So I put 2 to 3 drops of that in there. There's a constituent in there, something about it that makes it more effective. And then typically I go ahead and still just top off the rest of the capsule with a little bit of olive oil, just like that, and then put it on there, and I'm going to take it. A lot of times I just put these directly on my tongue, but I kind of wanted to show you. I do take them internally. I have no problem taking them internally, other than sometimes, like the olive oil helps, like, you not to burp up the taste of the essential oils, but. And I will get back over to the external screen in just a minute to see any comments that you might have. Oh, didn't quite go down. And those are quick dissolving tablets. If you're going to make your capsules to take right then, use the quick dissolving tablets. Unless you have a problem burping up the taste, and then you want to get the slow dissolve capsules. And they will get further into your system before they dissolve, so that it's further down in your system where you're not burping up the taste so much. Because that's one thing that puts a lot of people off from taking oils internally. But I also wanted to show you guys, I have a little roller bottle here. Excuse me, and I'm going to show you, you can also make this for a topical. And I was out, so I need to make me some. And because this is a larger bottle and you're going to use it for a larger extended time, I do about 10 drops each, and then I fill the rest with olive oil. So I'm going to do 10 drops each of these. Another tip is don't keep the lids off your bottles. Once you use that, you put the lid right back on because it is a volatile oil. It will evaporate. So you want to store them in a spot that where the light's not getting through them. Make sure they're in dark bottles. See, this cobalt blue bottle is a dark bottle. All of these are really, and a lot of times I'll add wintergreen into because it's a great anti-inflammatory. It's great to add a couple of drops of that into in your capsule. And frankincense is a very expensive oil. So are several of these, but if you notice, this is going to last me a really long time. And it's well worth it. There's people that have not found anything else that works for their pain, and within 15 to 20 minutes of taking this pain balm or rubbing it on, they've been out of pain. Now, I'm not saying it works for everybody. All right. 10 drops each. Then see how much that fills that bottle? You can kind of see it right there. I'm going to fill the rest of the bottle with olive oil. Normally I have a little dropper bottle that's kind of like this but bigger that I keep my olive oil in, but my granddaughter sometimes snatches onto that, so I couldn't find it this time. I'm going to fill it right up to that little lip right there. And then I'm going to dry off the top. Put my little roller bottle top on, and you push it down and kind of twist on these anyway. And I think I got these at abundanthealthforyou.com, or look it up like that. Then when you get it down so far, you can kind of screw it on, and it'll pop it on down the rest of the way because it's kind of hard to get on there. Then you have your roller bottle. Kind of blend and shake it up good to get all of the goodness mixed up. And then you just roll it directly on the areas that you need the most help with. This side is where that occipital nerve is damaged. Don't get it too close to your eyes if you've got hot oils in there like peppermint, wintergreen, things like that. Then I just roll it directly on. Hard to reach on the back, but I try to get it on my spine, and I do both sides because both of the sides flare up, and that nerve goes all the way to the shoulder, which causes me a lot of shoulder pain. And I do it directly in my head. A lot of people see me and they see my hair looking all greasy, but I don't care because it helps it feel better. Anyways, I'll go back over to the comments page so I can see what everybody's saying. But that's kind of how I do that. I'm going to go put that olive oil back after I'm done. So that's a great recipe to use for pain. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Weetree. Hey, AC and Homestead Tessie. Let's see. Hey, HVS. Good to see you. Anyway, I was just doing a little live chat kind of showing what some of the things I use to kind of help knock my pain down some. But being in pain's no fun. How deep does it penetrate? Well, essential oils will penetrate through when you put it on topically. It'll go through into every cell in your body, including the brain. Every cell in your body. Hey, living frugal and prepping. Within 25 to 26 minutes. Usually, if it's going to help me, I notice a difference in about 15 minutes, full effect within 25 minutes. If after that amount of time you don't get full relief, you can reapply. AC, I'm not sure on Tommy. I need to do some checking. His foot was pretty bad, so I don't know. I know that his father passed away also, which is just heartbreaking for me. So, but other than that, I don't know for sure, but I need to go over and check on him over on Facebook and see how he's doing. But if you're applying topically and it doesn't take full effect within, like it maybe knocks it down some, but not quite enough, reapply as often as you want. So that, if it's helping, a lot of times the second round will help even more, but not always. But you can also add other things to it if you need to. So that's great. Young Living has this, it's called Cool Azul. I don't know if you can see that. I need to go back over to my screen. Now, I think you can probably see that. It's called Cool Azul, Azul, and it has methyl salicylate from essential oils, like from wintergreen. So it has wintergreen in there. It has menthol in there. And those are both topical analgesics. And this is actually FDA approved. And when you're using this product, of course, don't use near your eyes or anything, but it has lots of great essential oils in there that helps with pain. Is for the methyl salicylate. The rest of this is in this roller bottle. AC is a blend that I made myself. It has a couple of drops of copaiba, which I actually put 5 in mine because copaiba really helps with my inflammation. So copaiba, COPAIBA, Idaho balsam fir, which a lot of times if you look it up, it's balsam fir and then it has Idaho in parentheses. Peppermint, because peppermint makes every oil more effective, and frankincense. Okay, like I was saying, the essential oils, to Weechery's question, the essential oils reach every cell in your body, including your brain, which is awesome. Most things do not penetrate that blood-brain barrier. But it will reach every cell in your brain within 26 minutes. So, including, on to the bone. So, in taking it internally, it takes it's a little less, it's about 15 minutes. I rub this on topically. This is a little roller bottle that I bought, and just fill it up and roll it on topically wherever I'm hurting. Like my hands are killing me today. I'll just rub it on my hands and show you. You just rub it on, massage it in. Believe it or not, if you're a praying person, it raises the frequency of the essential oils. The essential oils that are best, the only thing you don't want to put it on, you can put it on any part of your body. The only place you don't want to put it on is in your eyes, inside your ears. Now, around your ears is great, like if you're having an earache. Topically, like this, if you have tooth pain, this will taste really nasty, but you can actually put it directly on the tooth. The copaiba will be really great for any inflammation that you have in there. Inflammation and pain in your back, you can rub it up the spine from the tailbone all the way up. Yeah, salicylic acid is an aspirin. But yes, wintergreen is one of the best sources for that, and it's great. And I totally believe we treat in faith on hands healing. What I was going to say is essential oils have frequencies. The higher the frequency, the more beneficial to your body. You want to raise your frequency. There's certain things in your body that causes your frequency to go down, including one of the things, coffee. Even holding the cell phone up to your head will change your frequency. But, and I've seen tests on this, so I don't want to go into that. But yes, it does make a difference. What you eat and everything changes your body frequency. The lower the frequency, the more sick you're going to be. Essential oils have different frequencies, but when you pray while you're applying it, believe it or not, praying or meditating while you're applying it raises the frequency of those oils, which increases the healing properties of the oils. I just think that's amazing. And that's a proven test. It's been proven several times in several studies. So, and I wish I had the sources for that. I'd love to show you that. I'll have to do some checking. But, so yes, I use olive oil as a base, or fractionated coconut oil, any kind of organic, like cooking oil that you would use. You want it to be an organic, preferably, and an organic non-GMO. I believe it, Wee Tree. She says that she gets a blinding headache if she puts a cell phone to her ear. I believe that. Frankincense does smell amazing. I love it. And there is a book called I think it's Healing Oils of the Bible. And it is fantastic. It gives scriptural references on the Bible and where essential oils are mentioned specifically, where oils, that it's an oil, and where it's a resin of an oil. Like, sometimes it's a resin like the frankincense and stuff, but frankincense and myrrh are resins. And so it's really, really intriguing. But that book is a great source. And like I said, this is still my favorite book. And Wee Tree, I'm still looking for your book. I promise you, I haven't forgot about you. But the Essential Oils Pocket Reference, it's by Life Science Publishing. I prefer the 5th edition, but right now they're going for over $100. It says pocket reference, but look how thick it is. It is not a rinky-dink little book. So in the front, what it does is it gives the single oils, or oils where it's just one single oil in there, like copaiba. If you have a blend, if they make a blend, like this is strictly Young Living, but if they have a blend, then that blend is going to be right after the singles. But what's really interesting is it gives, for the single oils, it gives like a full history of where those oils come from, like where they get their oils from. And Young Living owns most of their farmland. They also do harvest at peak times when the constituents, which are the chemical properties that make that oil healing and more effective. This is why I love Young Living, but they have their own farms for most every oil they have. They test the soil to make sure there's not any harmful chemicals and things in there. Of course, we're all made of chemicals, but harmful, toxic chemicals, whatever, in the ground. They won't even use that if they put it on the like if the neighbors use those chemicals spraying their crops and stuff, they won't use that. So that's what the difference is in the essential oil companies. There are some essential oils that are, there's fillers, there's toxic fillers, they use GMO plants, all kinds of stuff like that. It's grown in land that use weed killers and stuff like that. They use toxins, like bug killers and stuff, on their plants. So even if it's non-GMO plant, they may be you may still be getting toxins in your oils. A lot of them use, like, say, a lot of lavender. Most of the lavender that's out there is instead of lavender. Lavandula angustifolia is what you need to look for. And most of the testing, even if they say they're 100% therapeutic grade, shows that they are not, that they have fillers or they have cheaper oils added in it. Like they may put 10% of lavender in there, and then the rest is actually lavandin, which lavandin has good properties for you, but if you use it for like a burn or something, it's going to intensify that burn. It can cause a lot of issues with your skin and body. So you don't want to use something that is not 100% pure. Also, another thing with different companies, and I'm not trying to down any company. I'm just saying, I know like Young Living with their company, if it says Copaiba, that's what it is. Like I've seen some online testing of Young Living oils, like this one guy, I don't want to say his name, but he does a lot on essential oils. He has his own line of essential oils, and he did some testing between Young Living and doTERRA and something else, and he had Young Living peppermint. Now I want to show you this. This is Young Living peppermint. I want to show you how freely this flows out. See that? Okay, I'm not going to waste this. I'm going to rub this on my neck. Okay, he had Young Living peppermint, and literally I'm going to put the lid back on, but he had the bottle like this. He was doing some kind of a balloon test or something, and he held the bottle like this, and over this balloon, and it literally took 20 seconds for a single drop of peppermint essential oil to come out. I guarantee you there had to have been a carrier oil mixed in with that, because I've been doing this for I think 4 years or better now, and I've never had a Young Living peppermint oil take that long to come out of a bottle. It was never that thick. So either he dosed it up or he bought it on Amazon, which if you get it on Amazon, most of the Young Living products that you buy on Amazon is not true Young Living. They've taken the bottle, they've put a new cap on the top after they've put fillers in there and diluted it down. So thinking is that he had to have done that, because there's no, even if you put these in the freezer, they're volatile oils, they do not freeze. The capsules freeze, which is if I pre-make my capsules, I use the capsules that are the slow dissolving, because that helps them stay in, keep their integrity while they're in the freezer. And I put them in little containers, which I have a video on that, pre-making essential oil capsules, I believe, and put them in the freezer and mark my little container. And I've had them for capsules in the freezer for a couple of years and never had any issues. But the essential oils inside those capsules do not freeze. It's just the capsule itself on the outside, so it maintains that integrity while it's being frozen, so it keeps longer. So I don't know. That's part of it. Okay, so Young Living, they have a seed to sell thing, and I'm not selling. I will not sign anybody up. I will not sell you oils. You have to find somebody on your own, or I can send you to somebody else. Some essential oils do go bad. It's not really that they go bad. Citrus oils, they say 1 to 2 years, but I've used them for a lot longer. Hey, hidden numismatist, great to see you. But I'm telling you right now, I'm just telling you, I'm starting to feel a difference with the oils that I just took. It's knocking it down to where it's getting to be a little bit more tolerable. Thank you, Hidden. I appreciate that. But the ones that contain citrus, because they're cold pressed, yeah, they do kind of have a shelf life, but I've used them for months longer at a time. Gosh, I'm all over the place because I realized I didn't finish telling you about this book, but I will finish telling you about that. But I'm not here to sell these oils to you, because I don't sell the oils anymore. I buy my own for my own personal use and my family's use, but I don't sell them. I don't sign anybody up. So, I mean, I can find you somebody if you really don't have anybody in your area that will sign people up. I can find somebody for you, but I don't personally sign anybody up anymore. I wanted to be able to be 100% truthful about the essential oils, and so like me saying that this blend is a pain blend and it can help with your pain, that's considered to be prescribing according to the FDA. If I'm trying to sell oils to somebody, then I'm prescribing basically. So instead of doing that, I just tell you I can give you an honest testimony that what helps me with certain things, with like if with a belly ache or nausea or arthritis, or like a family member with arthritis or bursitis or something like that. I can be honest with you and tell you, and not have to try to talk around the issue or try to hint at something or be evasive or elusive about something. So anyway, let me go back and look, because I lost my train of thought on that. Yeah, Faith, these will not fit in your pocket. I guarantee you, they won't fit in your pocket. Unless you got like really big pockets, some people that wear those baggy jeans that hang down to their booty. Yeah, that this might fit in one of their pockets. I don't know, but it is a great resource. I'm going to go back to this real fast on this book, because like black pepper, it gives you the botanical family, which is Piperaceae. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It gives the plant origin, which is Madagascar, Sri Lanka, England, and India. Those are where it's from. It gives the extraction methods, which is this for black pepper. It's steamed distilled from the fruit and berries, so it gives you the plant part to use. I don't know if they punish the. Wheatree asked if do each of the companies punish their partners if they even say anything nice about another company. I don't know. I do know there's some people like that was in my upline that are like, I would never use another company's oils. And I can understand when you see some of the testing on some of the other companies' oils, how their impurities, how many impurities there are. It's not what they're claiming it is and stuff like that. But so for me, I will only use Young Living. But I do think that there are probably some comparable companies out there, maybe not up to the level of Young Living, but for price wise, I know that it's difficult for people to purchase essential oils. But the good thing about it is, like this peppermint, this is like around $23, and maybe a little more, a little less, about by $1 or $2. But this lasts me forever, because as you can see, I only use a couple of drops. Like, that's why my little saying, or my little saying is a drop or two will do, because literally it only takes a drop or two. So that's what's so awesome about it. This has like, I believe, like 380 drops in it. So that's 160 applications for this. So you got to think about it that way. And this alone is a great anti-inflammatory and pain reliever. Rubbing this on your temples, it's great for like headaches. For most headaches, it helps a lot of people on your temples or in the back if you're having like a tension headache. For allergies and asthma, it's great for earaches, toothaches. To some extent, there's some that are stronger that I like better. So it's great for a lot of stuff. I mean, I can't even go into all. Let me go over here to. Well, I like my 5th edition better, so let me go to peppermint. I can tell you on peppermint and just go that way. Okay. Because I still have a lot. Believe me, I'm not an expert. I don't even claim to be an expert. But okay, so peppermint, Mentha piperita, botanical family Lamaceae or Libetae, mint. Plant origin North America, Mediterranean area, and Great Britain. Extraction methods steam distilled from leaves and stems. Key constituents are menthol, which is 34 to 44%, menthone, 12 to 20%, menthofurane, 4 to 9%, 1.8 to cineol, which is eucalyptol, 2.5%, pulagone, which is 2 to 5%, menthol acetate, 4 to 10%. Okay? Yes, clove and coconut oil works excellent for toothaches for sure. And if it's a therapeutic grade, do it topically over the tooth and then also on the outside. So it's penetrating in also and up under here on the jawline for toothaches. The ORAC value, which means it's good at going in and fighting off free radicals in your body, is 37,300 UTE/100 grams. Historical data reported to be a part of the Marseille vinegar or Four Thieves vinegar used by grave robbing bandits. Yes, it's part of the thieves blend. To protect themselves during the 15th century plague, a highly regarded digestive stimulant, Jean Valnet, MD, used peppermint to treat liver and respiratory diseases. The medical properties are anti-inflammatory, anti-tumoral, so tumors, anti-parasitic, like worms, antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, gallbladder and digestive stimulant, pain relieving, curbs appetite. Rheumatism uses are rheumatism, arthritis, respiratory infections, pneumonia, tuberculosis, etc. Obesity, viral infections, herpes simplex, herpes zoster, cold sores, human papillomavirus, etc. Fungal infections like candida, digestive problems, headaches, nausea, skin conditions like itchy skin, varicose veins, eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis, scoliosis, lumbago/back problems. Fragrant influences. So just by smelling it, this is what can happen. It's purifying and stimulating to the conscious mind. So like kids who are having attention deficit problems, just smelling peppermint alone can help them to focus. Somebody who has a hard time focusing, it can help you focus. So sniff it about 10-15 minutes before going ahead and starting your studies and things like that. Dr. William N. Denber of the University of Cincinnati found that inhaling peppermint oil increased mental accuracy by 28%. That's significant. 28%. That can take your C student up to an A student, possibly. Okay, I'm not saying it will. I'm not guaranteeing that, but Alan Hirsch, MD, researched peppermint stimulation of the brain's satiety center, which is the ventromedial nucleus of the hypothalamus, to curb appetite. When inhaled, it restores a sense of taste by stimulating the trigeminal nerve. Okay. Let's see. University of Kiel researchers found that peppermint blocked headache pain in a double-blind, placebo-controlled crossover study. So I'm not saying it will help every headache. It helps my occipital neuralgia some. But yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. And it gives the way to apply it, the way to inhale it, the cautions for it, which the cautions are to avoid contact with eyes, mucous membranes, like in the nose right there, in the ears, sensitive skin, or fresh wounds or burns. Do not apply on infants younger than 18 months of age. It's possible, I don't know, I haven't done enough research on dementia to know. Let me look and see. And it gives all of their oils that you can find peppermint in. But let me look, see if I find dementia in this book. It's not giving it here, but I'm telling you what, you could probably just Google dementia, and say, it's Young Living essential oils for dementia. Matter of fact, let me do it now, and we'll just see what it says. Flaxseed oil and fish oil, B12, magnesium. Yeah. Okay. I'm about to, as soon as my Google page comes up, I'm just going to Google it. Young Living essential oils for dementia. Okay. To it and kind of you can find a lot of like blends and things like that online. Yeah, I am feeling somewhat better. It's like, it's hard to explain. It's like the pain's still there, but it's kind of removed a bit from it. I don't know how to explain it. It's not like I'm high or nothing like that, but it's interesting. Okay, is recommended. Lavender is thought to be calming and able to balance strong emotions. Peppermint, rosemary, bergamot, lemon balm, ylang ylang, and ginger. So lavender, peppermint, rosemary, bergamot, lemon balm, ylang ylang, which is Y-L-A-N-G, Y-L-A-N-G, and ginger. Let's see what it says about those. Managing dementia side effects with these 7 essential oils. Let's see what it. This is Alzheimer's.net, okay? So this is not Young Living website. This is just that they give. I'm trying to get down to it. My computer's slow. I'm sorry. That's just kind of how it is. Okay. So for lavender, it says lavender is thought to be a calming and able to balance strong emotions. It has also been used to help with depression, anger, and irritability, and can help in some cases of insomnia. Can be directly inhaled, used as a massage oil, or sprayed on linens. And if you have a therapeutic grade like Young Living, I take it internally. Nothing wrong. It doesn't taste great, but I take it internally. I put it in a capsule. Peppermint is an energizer and can be used to stimulate the mind and calm nerves at the same time. Best used in the morning. It can be directly inhaled, diffused in a room, used as a massage oil, sprayed in the air, or even placed in a bath. If you place it in a bath, let me tell you something. Any of these oils, if you place them in a bath, you do not just put a ton of drops in that bath, especially something like a hot oil like peppermint or rosemary. That's going to burn. Bergamot is also, I believe, considered essential citrus oil. And so if you put that directly on the skin, like if you take a bath with that citrus and you go out in the sun, like say your husband goes out in the sun, what can happen is that citrus can cause discoloration of the skin or even cause slight burns when you go out in the sun. So put it on, if any place that is exposed to the sun, like say I've got my shirt on, if I put it on my chest or back or up to here, as long as it's a covered area, it's going to be okay. But if they go out in the sun, it can cause a slight burn, especially for those with sensitive skin. So if you put essential oils in your bath, you need to add baking soda or about a half a cup, or you need to add about a half a cup to a cup of like Epsom salts or magnesium salts to diffuse the oils in there, disperse the oils, and like break them down in the water so that they're not just floating on the top. Because when you go to sit down, that is not a pleasant experience if those essential oils hit your hoo-hoo. Also, it just sticks to your thighs and stuff, and so you can end up with rashes and like a painful area where that oil just stuck. So what you do is you put your baking soda or magnesium salts or whatever in there, then you stir it up, add your 2 or 3 drops is the most I ever do of any essential oil in a bath in there, stir it up, and then have them get in. Don't just put the oil in there and not do that, because that's not going to be fun. Okay, rosemary, it says, similar to peppermint, rosemary is an uplifting oil used to stimulate the mind and body. It may even improve cognitive performance and mood. It's also been known to ease constipation, symptoms of depression, and also reinvigorate the appetite. Rosemary oil can be directly inhaled, diffused through a room, or used as a spray. Or I put it on topically. It's a hot oil, so if you put it in a capsule, 1 or 2 drops will be plenty, and you probably definitely want to do a capsule of olive oil before that. Bergamot can be used to relieve anxiety, agitation, mild depression, and stress. This mood elevating and calming oil can also be used to relieve insomnia. To use bergamot oil, place a few drops in a bath, use a massage oil, diffuse through a room, or use as spray on clothing or linens. Lemon balm. While lemon oil may be among the more expensive oils, it's also one of the most studied and more effective oils. It's been shown to help calm and relax people who are dealing with anxiety and insomnia, improve memory, and ease indigestion. Lemon oil can be dropped into a bath, inhaled directly, diffused, sprayed, or applied directly internally as well on that one. And let's see, ylang ylang can help ease depression while promoting good sleep. And this, if you have a grumpy man, taking a drop of ylang ylang and rubbing it on their big toes at night can help them a lot. It's a great oil not only for the person living with the Alzheimer's or dementia, but also for the caregiver struggling with the restlessness and the lack of sleep because you're worried going to wander off or get into something or, whatever. It's often combined with lemon oil and can be placed in a bath, inhaled, diffused, or sprayed. I'm not sure if ylang ylang can be taken internally. I'll have to do some checking on that. I always just use it topically, so I don't know. Ginger oil, commonly used to treat a loss of appetite and constipation. Ginger can help promote good eating habits. Can be applied directly to the skin as an abdominal massage, inhaled, diffused, sprayed, or placed on a compress. I also just take that one internally, a drop or two. So that gives you an idea. You can just Google Young Living essential oils for these for whatever condition it is. Let's see. I'm have to go back to the comments here. Hey Scotty, welcome. Hi Finger Lakes. Thank you, Finger Lakes. I appreciate it. Hoo-hoo means buttocks and the general genitalia, okay? I'm sure that wouldn't be fun hitting directly on a man's man parts. And I know I have a person that's taught me about essential oils that she unfortunately had a bad experience with peppermint. She put it in her bath, did not know that she was supposed to disperse it, and she sat on it, and her hoo-hoo was not in a pleasant state at that point. So I agree, AC, there are things doctors don't want you to know. Definitely. And, that's the way I look at it. I'm not trying to be anti-medicine. There are times when you have to have medicine. It's just how it is. I'm doing a little bit better since I put my oils on. I'm still kind of hurting like right through here, so I'm going to reapply. It's not as bad. See, it's still real tender right there. Ooh. But I'm doing better than I was. We'll just put it that way. And see, it's been about, what, 20, 30 minutes? So I'm just reapplying to see if I can get it to knock down just a little bit more. See? It used a little bit up, but it's well worth it. So we tree, let me go up. What are we talking about as far as insurance company? Is it the deal that the theft that you had going on? A clean tingling feeling? No, it was more like a I'm on fire down there feeling. Okay, it was not a good feeling at all. I agree, we treat. I'm not anti-medicine. I grew up, my mom kind of, it was just, there wasn't natural remedies involved. It was just basically, if you got a cold, take a pill for that. If you, whatever. And sometimes it worked, but that may have, helped with, cause my condition to worsen. I don't know. I've always never felt 100% great. I did have a lot more energy. I was always bouncing all over the place when I was a kid. But there was just always something not quite right, with my body. So I don't know if it was more of a mood thing causing health issues or what, but I've always kind of had health issues. My husband calls them chronic. Um, but I found that, I'm trying to do more natural, try natural first. I wasn't taught that, so I'm learning that. Try natural first. Um, but there are times like yesterday. Um, yeah, a drop on a light bulb does help, Faith. There are times when, like yesterday or the day before yesterday, the pain was so bad. I'm telling you, I did tinctures, I did oils, I did um, topical creams that are basically have oils in them. I did pain medicines along with ibuprofen. I mean, I did everything to try to knock down the pain because I was hurting so bad. I Last night was so bad that whenever I went to, I felt for because my pain seems to shoot up worse at night. It's bad all the time, but it shoots up even worse at night. So I'm more of a night person. I end up staying up till 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. It just kind of depends. Well, last night I was able to kind of get. We're not going there on the bone set, okay? That stuff was the worst tasting stuff. I've tried pretty much most every essential oil out there as far as Young Living has, and that can be taken orally, and that was so nasty. I mean, it was so bitter. I can't even explain it. It was awful. I did try it. I did try it. I did try it. I promise. But anyway, I yeah, I am a wimp. I am so a wimp, a wuss, whatever you want to call me. That's fine. You can think whatever you want of me. I can't. My jaw clenched up. It was just so bitter and so awful, and it took me hours to get that taste out of my mouth. I just couldn't do it. So anyway, um, I I find that like last night I got to bed finally about 4 in the morning, I think, and I was hurting real bad. So I laid in bed, and it took me probably until almost 6 o'clock this morning to fall asleep. Okay, like I tossed and turned. That's how long it takes me a lot of times, most times, to fall asleep. I flip flop back and forth. I couldn't find a comfortable position where I wasn't hurting because that occipital nerve branches out to the shoulders, and I can't sleep on my back because I got a big booty. Okay, people, I still have a big booty. I'm working on it. I'm working on it, but I have a big booty. So it's either my stomach or my sides. I'll have to try catnip ring. Um, but anyway, so I finally get to sleep about 6. My son, I wake up at about 6:15, 6:20 to him stomping through the house because he can't find his cap and sunglasses so he can go to work. So I finally get up and go and try to help him. Never could find his stuff. Yeah, that cold air and stuff like that, and it's been real humid, and that's a lot of it. It's causing my pain. But anyway, finally help him find some sunglasses. Never could find his cap and sunglasses that's his. He stomps out the door. I go back to bed, and it takes me another probably hour and a half to get back to sleep. And then I end up getting a phone call from him 30 minutes after I just got back to sleep because he needed some money for lunch because he didn't budget his money from last week. Love him. I adore my son. I love him. But I was ready to strangle him. So I did finally get back to sleep after about another, it only took about 30 minutes that time. So then I finally get back to sleep, and then I wait. The dogs woke me up. So about 10:30, something like that. So I got a couple hours sleep. That's it. So, and this is how it goes all the time for me. So, like if I say I'm tired, I'm tired. I never get full rest. And then when I finally do get to sleep, my body is, I'll do that for several days until the point where my body just shuts down on me, and then you can't really wake me up. And I'll sleep. Like a few nights ago, I maybe slept for maybe I laid down at 3 something, and the granddaughter was here, but her daddy and my husband just had to deal with her. I laid down and I was just going to try to get a little bit of rest for a couple of hours, and I ended up sleeping from about 3:30 until about 10. Yeah, I've tried valerian root, and it helps some, but I slept for till about 10. I got up. I was up 2 hours, and then I went back to bed, and I slept until about 1 o'clock the next day. And that's not good because then I'm hurting from laying there, but at the same time my body needed the rest. So it's just this ongoing roller coaster process, and with all of the bad weather that we've had and all the fluctuations in the barometric pressure, it's just really made me ugh. No, I've not tried mimosa tincture. I want to try that because I didn't know the mimosa was medicinal. We have a mimosa over at my husband's grandma's, and we're gonna transplant some mimosa that's growing in her yard. So I definitely want to try that. But anyway, but essential oils have helped me a lot, and I can't dog them at all, because for a lot of other stuff it really helps, and it does knock down my pain some, like it has now. I'm still hurting, like right here is real bad, and then right here. So I'm hoping that second application will take care of that. Sometimes just putting pressure on there will help. But I don't know. I'm sorry if I've missed some of y'all's um, topics, but if I read while I'm talking, I lose my train of thought, and so I have to then refocus myself, and it takes me a lot longer. So don't think that I'm ignoring you. This is like Rain. I've missed 2 of her chats, and I hate that because I want to be able to be there and support her. But a lot of times that's kind of when I get a little bit of rest, like when the husband and the son are gone to work, and I can get a little bit of rest during the day. So, and also it just depends if I can stare at a computer screen. Like I really probably shouldn't be staring at it now, but probably pay for it later. But at the same time, I kind of wanted people to see when I'm at some of my worst. This isn't the worst. There's times when I can't really even get up. It takes everything in me to get up to go pee. And I'm sorry for being so blunt, but that's just how it is. Okay, so Wheatree says I need to go collect the flowers right now, and the flowers only, and remove the green parts and place it in a jar and add vodka to the top. Okay, I will do that. Yeah, it's hard. And I've had the granddaughter a lot more, and I adore her, but it does wear me down, because normally whenever I would get her every other weekend, I'd have her every other weekend, and it would take me almost a full week to recoup enough. And now it seems like I'm getting her 3 to 4 times a week, which I adore her and I love her and I enjoy having that time with her. We have just a really special bond, but it does kind of take a toll on my body. It wears me down, and I don't feel like I can truly rest, like during the, she's wanting to be awake. She's a kid. She's wanting to be awake during the time when I could probably rest the best. So that makes it kind of hard. Okay. I will try that, Wee Tree. I will try that. Yeah, Scotty, it is hard when you're raising a child alone. I believe it. I definitely believe it. But I just want you to know that there's people out there, like Scotty and other people that are dealing with chronic pain issues. I feel you. And there's people that still to this day don't believe that I have a headache literally every second of my life. And they're just like, well, that's just impossible, and she's just making it up because she's lazy or she doesn't want to do something. Let me tell you what drives me crazy, because I'm one of those people that I want everything to be just a certain way, and I can't, because I physically can't do it. And then I get to the point where I'm mentally shut down. And please don't take this like, I mean, it causes a depression because you're just so tired of hurting all the time. But I'm definitely not suicidal, and I would never do that to myself or my family, because that's just one of those things that I would never do that to my family or anything. And because of my faith, I wouldn't do that. So I just have to trust that the Lord will take care of it, take care of me, and focus on one day at a time, getting through one day at a time. So now there have been times I've prayed, God, just go ahead and take me because I'm miserable and I'm tired of this. But I would never kill myself. Never would. But it does cause a depression. It's definitely difficult, when you're hurting constantly. And it's not something that somebody can understand fully. They can kind of empathize, but they can't fully, oh, sorry. No. And it's us, they're going through it. CJ said no. Sorry. So the wind blows and she barks. Quit, baby. Quit. She's my little protector. She lets me know if somebody's coming. Yeah, I'll bet it does, Scotty. Quit. Okay, I'll find out if it's flowering, and I'll go see about collecting those. But anyway, like I said, if you don't go through it, if you don't have to deal with pain every single second, you're not going to understand. I mean, when the doctors ask me what my pain level is, I want to say 10, but I reserve that for things like somebody slowly chopping my fingers off one at a time, or slowly dismembering me. And that's my take on what a 10 means for pain at this point. So I can't say it's the worst pain I'd ever imagined by any, but it does pull you down, definitely. And it pulls your system down too. When you're in pain a lot, I'm not getting out in the sun like I need to. I'm not getting the exercise I need to. So I know that it's so hard, So I just want you to know, if you're going through that and you want prayer, let me know. I fully understand. I'd be more than happy to pray for you or with you. And for any other reason, that. By the way, I need to check with BC and see how he's doing, if they're doing all right. Sorry, I'm yawning, but I only got a couple hours sleep, so that's just kind of how it is. That's just it, we treat any pain can be handled and tolerated if like labor. When I had my son and my daughter, it was hard, but at the same time I knew it's going to end. It's going to end at some point. And at this point, I'd rather be in labor like once a week than be in this 24-hour pain constantly. It really does. Definitely it does. I hate for anybody to have to truly know how I'm feeling, because that means that you're going through it as well. And I don't wish it on anybody. Not even people that hate me, wish me dead, can't stand me. I don't wish it for anybody. So I completely understand. Sorry, the peppermints opened up my sinuses now, which is good. But anyway, but I just kind of wanted to show people on like a harder day what it was like, and not have to, a lot of times when I'm out there, I do have a lot of joy. I praise God that He gives me joy despite all of this, and gives me a way to find humor. Because, the Bible says, laughter doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth up the bones. Try to keep my spirits high because what's in bones? Bone marrow. What is that? That is your immune system. Your if you think about it that way, it can pull down your whole body. So I try, and for the most part, I do a really good job. But I do have my days. Like, I'm just human, and I do have my days. And sometimes those are 2 or 3 days in a row, and then I get over it. But that's just how it is. So I try to laugh, try to have fun, try to enjoy life, try to avoid trauma for the most part. Sometimes it just seeks me out. I'm trying to avoid it anymore. Um, But that's just life. That's just how it is, and we got to learn to deal with things and take them in stride. And there's a lot of things that used to stress me out that just doesn't stress me out so much anymore. I just don't let it get to me. First of all, if I'm sitting here worrying about it, then I'm not trusting God. I'm not trusting God to take care of it, and I don't want that. So I feel like, I've come to the point, my mom's kind of a worrier, and she worries a lot, and she has her ups and downs too, just like everybody else. And so, but when it's one thing after another, sometimes it just gets to you. And so sometimes she can have more of a worry constantly about certain things, and to me, I'm just learning more to give it to God. It's kind of like if you have a football and you hand it to somebody and you say, "Here, take care of this for me," or say it's a treasure, or even a puppy. Say it's a puppy, and you hand it to the person, and you're saying you're trusting them to take care of it, but then you just keep jerking it back and and trying to do it all on your own again. So, you know, if you give your trouble to the Lord and then you just keep jerking it back, then is that real faith? So I'm trying to work on that and do better for myself on that, and so it is what it is. I'm hoping that, maybe just talking about it, pain can be beneficial if you just don't focus on it all the time. Try to take your mind off of other stuff. In studies, they had 2 different groups, and they showed that group A, they focused on actually talking about their pain, what intensity it was for that day and stuff. Not that it's not okay to do it sometimes, but whenever it's constant, every time they met, they focused on their pain levels and stuff like that. They noticed their pain level increased. Group B, they all chronic pain sufferers, but instead of doing that, they tried to focus on doing fun things together and avoiding talking about their pain for the most part. They found in that group that their pain level actually lessened. So while it's good to get it out sometimes like this, just constantly talking about it can, like, I think it just triggers something in your body, like a despair, and that despair amps up your pain even more. So that's kind of where, I try not to just constantly focus on that. It's always there in the back of my head, but I try to be positive and try to just bring some joy to people, and that in turn brings joy to me. So I'm not always that great at it, like today, but I do love y'all, and I appreciate you coming, and I just wanted to kind of show you a bad day so people will kind of know. I'm not making it up or whatever. It's not, like I said, it's not for sympathy. It's just to help people understand. Um, and just sitting here and visiting with you guys and seeing you out there already helps. So, oh sorry. But anyway, let's focus on something else. What's going on with y'all? Let's focus on positive, happy things. What's going on that's good? Tell me, tell me, tell me. True, we true. The best thing whenever I was just before I was going to have my own child, my first child, my son, a friend of mine had just had a baby, and she said the best thing, the way to think about it is every time, every time that hi, I'm on it. Good to see you. Good to see you too. Whenever whenever she said whenever a contraction's coming on and it's really hard, just think of it as this way. It's one more. It's just every time a contraction comes, that's just bringing you that much closer to that baby, holding that baby in your arms. And that was the best advice that anybody ever gave me, because it's true. In some ways, it kind of made me look forward to the next contraction because I knew I was just that much closer to my son. And so I was in labor for 26, I think it was almost 27 hours. But let me tell you what, it was great. Let me see. A wild violet salve, huh? Awesome. And it healed a cold sore. Awesome. Somebody else said that they used peppermint on their cold sore and it healed that. I was like, wow, that's awesome. That's great. So, what is good so far this week? You have not killed hubby? Oh, goodness. I know that um, you're positively in pain. You're positively in pain today. Well, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear this. Think positive. Let's think of something else besides pain now. We kind of bonded over our pain, but now let's focus on positive. Let's try to bring up those positive endorphins and things in our brain and try to help us. Oh my goodness. I'm just learning how to make a lot of my stuff. I've made a lot of stuff with essential oils. We did the lady above, one of the ladies above me, the same one that sat in the peppermint bath. That wasn't a pleasant experience. She said that or she had these classes that was called make and takes, where we could make our own lip balms, body lotions, things like that, and that was fun. And I was doing some, but let me tell you what, it's hard to carry all those big tubs of stuff to take with you here and there. So I finally just decided, I don't know if I'll. I just decided not to do those anymore. They were fun, but man, it's just tough. Scotty, you're being a turkey. You said positive, right? Oh my gosh, Scotty. Well, that puts a new dimension on Minty Fresh for sure. Oh, that's funny. I'm willing to try as far as natural stuff, anything at least once. Some things if you have to titrate up, that's fine too. I don't mind trying stuff to try to work myself up on things. So I mean I don't mind working myself up, titrating up on something. I just want to not hurt. So I'm definitely positive about that. I don't want to hurt anymore. You are helping. You're making me laugh, Scotty. You're hilarious. Oh my goodness. But I tell you what, it's interesting. I have an interesting group of YouTube friends, that's for sure. I don't want to hear about Bone Set anymore, Wheat Tree. None. Nope. three essential oils that are my favorite. Peppermint, and then there's a blend called RC, and then wintergreen. Those are the three that are probably my favorite because peppermint and wintergreen both are anti-inflammatory. They're great for pain. And then I like, plus peppermint's great for tummy issues, heartburn, stuff like that. And then the RC has different kinds of eucalyptus in it and several other things, quite a few other things. And I loved that. And it just helps me breathe. We diffuse that pretty much every day. My granddaughter loves it. Hey, Jay Watts. Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah. Be careful with the capsaicin oil. Yeah. For sure. But yeah, look up wintergreen essential oil benefits, peppermint essential oil benefits, and then RC. RC stands for respiratory congestion, because those are my issues. That may not be what's going to be your favorite, but those are my issues right there. And I absolutely love those. I use those pretty much daily, sometimes several times a day. Yeah, I'm probably very lucky I don't have you on the mic, Scotty. Anxiety. The ones that are great for anxiety would be lavender. Make sure it's true lavender. Lavandula angustifolia, or augustifolia, not the lavandin. And Lang Lang is great. Ylang seems to help a lot of people with calming them down. It has that effect on me. Things that kind of bring me peace and centeredness, or frankincense also seems to help me a lot. And it's great for the immune system and anti-tumoral. It's expensive if you're getting good quality. So just keep that in mind. But it's awesome. Geranium. Yeah, geranium is great for a lot of things too. Stinks to high heaven in my opinion, but yeah, it's awesome. It tastes nasty. My sister takes it under her tongue sometimes, and but again, you don't want to just. I know a lot of people think, okay, I can buy the cheap corner drugstore essential oils, okay, and get these health benefits that people are talking about. And while, like, you may find that the peppermint oil from the drugstore might open up your airway some, or you can rub it on your temples and maybe it'll help some with your headache or whatever. The problem with those is that if they have those chemicals in them that are toxic, you can be doing a lot of harm to your body that you don't even realize. Another thing is they're not therapeutic grade. If you think about it this way, you don't want to diffuse something and breathe it in, because if you breathe in those oils, they hit your brain within 10 seconds of the time you breathe them in. So they're already in your body within 10 seconds from breathing them in. A lot of times essential oils you can take, like this copaiba, you can just take a couple of drops and rub and just do like that. Just breathe in, and it hits the brain within 10 seconds. So it's already in your body, in your bloodstream, within 10 seconds. Okay? You put it on topically, 10 minutes. You take it internally, it can take anywhere between 15 minutes and 26 minutes. Topically can take 26 minutes, up to 26 minutes to hit every cell in your body. But as soon as you put it on, it's already going into your bloodstream. So why would you diffuse something that isn't safe to be put on your skin? Why would you use something that isn't the best for you? Because your skin absorbs the toxins as well as the health benefits. So That's why you really need to concentrate on getting a good quality essential oil. I'm not telling you to go with Young Living. I'm just telling you that's what I use, because that's the company I've done the most research on, and that I found through the research that is the most pure as far as I know. Yeah, there are people that use doTERRA, and I'm not dogging doTERRA. I will tell you that doTERRA and Young Living do have a rough history. I will tell you that the guy that started doTERRA used to work for Young Living, learned everything he could under Gary Young, and then went and started his own oils company. At first, I'm not saying they do now, but at first, their oils in independent testing did not stand up to the quality of Young Living. They were, I think, doing some things that were dishonest. I think now that they have remedied all of that. So I'm not dogging them. I'm just saying, I think, between the lawsuits between the two companies and stuff, there were some formulas that were copied, and that their purity was not up to what it should be. I don't think doTERRA owns the land that their plants are grown on. I'm not sure, because I haven't done in-depth research on them. I've just read some court reports and things like that on them and on their purity standards. They lost some lawsuits on their purity standards. So, but that was several years ago, and I think they've remedied all of that as far as the purity standards go. But let me tell you, Young Living, like I was saying before, and I got sidetracked like a rabbit off on a rabbit trail. They make sure that their plants are. They can't really say non-GMO, because there are a few lands that they have that they don't own, where they have to get their plants, because they only grow in certain parts of the world, like frankincense. They have a farmer. They go there. They test their land and all of that stuff. Okay, bye, Scotty. Thanks for coming by. Thank you. I hope you feel better too. I'll be praying for you, Scotty. But I know that, like, for Young Living, they can't say 100%. Yeah, pretty much most of their stuff is organic, non-GMO. There's a few they cannot certify that, so they just don't. This, because they make the standards so crazy, it's ridiculous. But it does say 100% pure therapeutic grade essential oil. That means it's medicinal. Okay, and there is a difference. So, they test the land. They make sure the plants that they get are non-GMO, organic, right? Then so that's their ground. So they test the ground, make sure it's great, make sure that there's nobody spraying chemicals on the grounds adjacent to them. Then they let the plants grow. They use only essential oils for bug, for any kind of pest or disease issues on their plants. So they don't use like toxic chemicals. They grow their plants on their own, mostly on their own farms, and then when they do, all right, bye, Faith. And then when they do, they harvest at peak time. Some of their plants are harvested in the middle of the night, like 3 in the morning, because that's when the peak time to harvest them is. They harvest them and they take them directly to the distillery that's on site. Because remember, essential oils are volatile oils, so a lot of them start to evaporate out. Some certain constituents can evaporate out like immediately, or start immediately as the plant's dying. So they take it directly to the distillery, harvest directly to the distillery that's on site, and they distill those oils immediately. And they make sure it's at the proper temperature and for the proper length of time. Most essential oils that you will get, like at the corner drugstore, they're not distilled for the full length of time that it takes and at the proper temperature it takes. And therefore, they're not medicinal quality. Too little, you're not pulling out all of the constituents or chemical properties that are medicinal. If you go too long, you kill off a lot of those properties. So you're just basically getting while there are some healing properties in it still, you're basically getting a perfume for the most part. If they go too long or too little or at the wrong temperature. So, and each essential oil is different. Each plant is different on what that length of time, what that temperature needs to be. So that's why, distilling my own essential oils while it's possible. Oh my goodness. I mean, every plant's going to have to be different. Every plant, you're going to have to be so precise in all of it to get the full benefits. But I will tell you, essential oils are worth it. They're 50 to 80 times more powerful than their herbal counterparts. I believe that quote is right. I know it's around there. So that's significant. Eating or using fresh herbs is awesome. And you do need to grow them, because if you can't get your own essential oils, you need to have something. But like, to eat enough to get the kind of benefit from a couple of drops of, say, the peppermint, that's going to be a bit tough, So you can keep that in mind as far as essential oils and their prices. But so, I'm definitely starting my own herbals. I'm definitely going to start growing my own stuff and trying to intake it more that way too. But I literally spend about $100 because that's what I need in order to make my commission anyway. So with Young Living, even though I'm not signing anybody up or whatever, I still have some people that are still under me that still order, okay? And I get a commission off of what they order, which is part of the reason why their oils are a little higher as well. But here's what happens. I can't remember how many people under me, but I only have a few people that really order monthly and meet that $100 quota. So what happens is I get off of them, I get about $40 to $60 a month off of them. So when I spend $100, I'm actually only paying about anywhere from $50 to $60 a month for my oils. So yeah, that's still an investment. But if you've seen my organizing my essential oils video, you'll see that I have a lot of oils. And right now I'm just ordering a everyday oils kit, which is just I think there's 12 oils in there, 10 or 12 oils, of the most used oils that Young Living has, pretty much, like, that people would use on a daily basis. So I get a good chunk of my oils paid for. In some months, it basically covers all of my oils. Plus, every time I order, I have been doing the essential oils long enough that I get 25% on essential oils on what I purchase. So if I purchase $100, I'm getting $25 in free oils that I can use the next month. So I'm actually only paying about $25 to $30 a month for my oils. And that's an investment to me that it is worth making, because if something were to happen where I couldn't afford it anymore, hey, keeping it Dutch. So if I get to where I can't afford oils for some reason, or something happens major where we can't get the oils anymore, say FDA goes after the oil company, I will still have a good stash of oils to last me quite a while. Plus, I'm going to be growing my herbals, so that way, if something should happen, then I am going to be good. I'm going to be able to have another form of a medicinal way to help me. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. I know it's a large investment, people. I know that. And not everybody can do it. Excuse me. But even if you can do just 1 or 2 oils, like just to do a little first aid kit, or like focus on what your main pain is, look up what the best oils are for that, and focus on that first. Use that. Build yourself up. If you've never done essential oils, do not just go full on at first like I did, because what happened is then I detoxed, because the essential oils go in and they break down all of these toxins and stuff that are like stuck in your body, including in your cells. Essential oils are unique in that they can go directly into that cell and break down those toxins and cause it to those cells to release those toxins and viruses that are in your cells. So I was diffusing and using topically all at once. And what happened was I went full on, instead of working my way up over a week or two, and I went into full detox. And let me tell you, that was some of the worst pain I ever felt in my life. I had a rash all over my body because it was pushing the toxins out, because that's the easiest way for toxins to escape, is through the skin. I bet, Dutch. I bet that does help. And I was hurting so bad because those toxins were trying to push out all at once instead of slowly detoxing. It was just like a boom. So my advice to you is to take it slowly. And I will tell you, I go through times where I don't use my essential oils as often as I know I should, because when I don't feel good, I don't feel like getting up and doing anything. And I know in my head that if I would just get my butt up and do my oils in a day or two, it would help me some. But there's times when it's just like I don't have the energy to get out of bed. But I will tell you that if you start the essential oils, make sure you slowly build yourself up. What I recommend is don't take it internally. You can diffuse like one oil, just a couple of drops in your diffuser every day. You can do that all day long or whatever, but just one oil and just a couple of drops in there. And then put the oils that you're wanting to use, one drop each, on the bottoms of your feet every day for about a week before you start really rubbing it on topically and stuff like that. Give your body a chance to slowly detox some. I've seen people give these warnings that, oh, come on, if you get a rash when you use an essential oil, that must mean that you're allergic. No, it does not. I'm not saying that there aren't some people that might not have some allergies to essential oils, but I will tell you this, that most people, if they have some kind of a breakout when they're using essential oil, it's just because it's breaking down the toxins and it's pushing it out of the skin. Because I never did break out again after that. Okay. After that first initial detox, I used the same oils all the time. No more breakouts. So it can't be an allergy if that's the case. Also, other than like the essential oils in there, hey Mindy, other than a couple of essential oils that have that are cold pressed, like citrus oils are cold pressed. So if you're allergic to citrus oils, then you'll be likely allergic to the essential oil from that. But like most of the plants, if they're steam distilled, even though you're allergic to the plant on its own, you're not necessarily going to be allergic to the essential oil counterpart, because most of the proteins that give you the allergic reaction to the plant are taken out of the plant during that distillation, or out of the oil during that distillation process. It stays over here in the vat, whereas where the plant's being distilled, and the steam comes over and the essential oil goes into the other container. Well, where the essential oil goes into the other container, that protein does not go through that tube over into the other container where the oils are being distilled, put into. So, like my sister, she's highly allergic to eucalyptus. She can use eucalyptus essential oils. So, I'm not saying there won't ever be a rare case of that, but the likelihood is not very high. So that's awesome. And a lot of times, like with lavender, because I was so chemically sensitive to everything, you can exhibit some symptoms, and it's from an emotional part of your brain. It's not that you're faking it or whatever, but I'll tell you, for instance, lavender essential oil, it's very strong. It smells like a weed. I'm allergic to pretty much every weed out here. Okay. So when I smelled that, I instantly kind of got a reaction where I felt like I couldn't breathe and stuff. And that was whenever the first day I tried to use it. And so I thought I was allergic to it. But somebody explained the whole what I'm explaining to you now about the proteins and stuff. So I was like, well, then why? And they said sometimes you can emotionally trigger something in your brain to where it causes a physical manifestation. So they recommended to me to try putting the lavender on the bottoms of my feet and then putting socks on so I'm not smelling it so much and immediately go wash my hands. So I did a drop on my big toes every day for a week. I can use it just fine. I can use it just fine now, and actually it smells pretty good to me now. Essential oils, if they smell, welcome back, Rain. If they smell good to you, you probably need it physically. If they smell bad to you, you probably need it emotionally. I believe that's right. It may be the opposite. It's been a while. But anyways, I think that's right though. Emotionally, if it smells good to you, that's what you need emotionally. If it smells really bad to you, often that's what you need physically. Not always. There are some that are just stanky. They're just stanky, okay? But for the most part, that's why some people you'll hear and see and they'll say, "Oh my gosh, lavender, this smells so good. I could just eat it up." And others will be like, "Ooh, yuck, it smells like a weed." But over the course of time using the essential oils, they have changed as far as the smell. I will also. Hi, Shaker. Good to see you. I'm doing all right. Been a rough day today. Well, the past 2 weeks actually really been really bad with the fluctuations. But anyway, the scents of the essential oils have changed for me over time as I've used them. So it's really interesting. No, you don't need to be burning stuff, Weed Tree, just because gasoline smells so good for you. Okay, Tessie, Young Living has a couple of blends that I would recommend, and you definitely would want, because it contains some hot oils, you'll definitely want to put them in about a half teaspoon of coconut oil, 1 or 2 drops of each of these. Purification and Thieves. Purification and Thieves both help with like fungal infections, um, viral infections, and bacterial infections. So if you make that's what I do. That's my go-to salve for everything. Isn't like some coconut oil, about a teaspoon of coconut oil and a drop of each of those, and then I rub them like this, and then I would just, like, if it's under her armpits, I would just put it under there. If it feels like it's burning a little too hot for her, add a little more, because with her being a senior citizen, you may want to do more coconut oil, like 2 teaspoons, and then a couple of or in 1 drop each of those. That's what I would do for somebody that's a senior. I try that first and do that, because the coconut oil by itself is a good antibacterial. And hey, SKS, good to see you. And then I would try that definitely. To try that and see if that will help. If you want to start with one of them, because it's fungal, purification goes more for fungal. So if you want to just do one, try purification first, and try that. Let's see. Yeah, tea tree is awesome also. Tea tree's great. Definitely. Hey, guys, talk amongst yourselves for a second. I'm going to run to the restroom because I've been drinking my water and my coffee. So I will be right back. Y'all talk amongst yourself, and then I will be right back here to visit with you. Ladies' room is calling. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. I do. I'm feeling a lot better. I mean, definitely feeling a lot better than I did. Thank you. But you can kind of see essential oils, I'm not saying they're a cure-all, but they can knock it down enough to where you can function again. And not always. That's not always the case, but it can. Yeah, I use the carrier oil with tea tree, and do not ever take tea tree oil internally. I've seen someone talk about using it like as a toothpaste for like mouth issues, like using it in the mouth. Don't do that. Don't use tea tree internally. That's a topical only. You can easily get too much tea tree in your system. Even just put it in your mouth, it can go into your bloodstream stream under your tongue, and it's not like a minor amount like what you put on topically. It is like toxic at some point. So be careful with that. I saw that on one of the natural YouTube or Google Plus channels. They were recommended tea tree and several other things that I got on there. I said, might want to watch it on the tea tree. I probably wouldn't recommend doing that. So, not all essential oils are made to be used internally. You know, so you need to keep that in mind. How do you know? The other day somebody asked me this in a message on one of my videos. How do you know if it's one that can be used internally? Well, Young Living essential oils is one of those. It gives the directions. It says if it says on the front, most of their singles you can use internally. But typically, if it says on there in the instructions that you can use in a capsule, you can take it internally. Or if it says internal use, or if it says dietary supplement. There are some, for some reason, they quit labeling that way. And I've used them and I've never had an issue. But I'm not going to tell you to take them internally if that's not something you're comfortable with. You can just diffuse it and use it topically if you need to. It's gonna take longer to do the same thing, but it will help. Now you see, I took these internally and I also put them on topically, and I've applied as I needed, and I've not had to worry. It's not something that I had to worry about getting too much of on any of these really. You can get books that'll tell you, like this book also I believe has the dilution rate for what you need it diluted. Like if it needs to be diluted 50-50, which means 50% essential oils and 50% carrier oil, which is like olive oil, coconut, like a fatty oil. Because essential oils, I saw a video on YouTube one time where this guy was saying that putting essential oils in his bug out bag or whatever, or for preps, was great because it added some fatty oils or some fat back to his diet, good fat. That is not true. The essential oils, there's fatty oils and there's volatile oils. Essential oils are volatile oils. They are not going to replace fat that you are needed for your body. Matter of fact, some of them burn fat, so you want to be careful. Rain is right. If you're using oregano, it is very hot. I can tell you from experience because the oregano and the peppermint are pretty close to the same color, and I had them sitting on a table, and thought I was grabbing the peppermint to do a couple of drops under my tongue. And I put oregano under my tongue, and let me tell you, it set my mouth on fire. It's very hot, and when you're not expecting it, it's even that much more. Definitely, if you're taking oregano internally, you want to make sure that you put it with a fatty oil, like a capsule full of almost completely full of olive oil, to like just a couple of drops of the oregano, or topically it's about the same. I do about half teaspoon to a teaspoon of coconut oil to a drop or two of oregano. So keep that in mind. Yeah, it's very hot. That was a pretty rough surprise there, let me tell you. Oh my gosh. Oh. Um, essential oils, one thing about it, I will say, is because essential oils are, oh, I'm on it. It's called the Essential Oils Pocket Reference by Life Science Publishing. It's not going to fit in your pocket unless you have very wide, deep pockets. But this is great. This is absolutely wonderful. I love this. I prefer the 5th edition, but right now they're going for 80 to 100. Um, gosh, I don't have my brand in here. I can't think of the name of it. It's an organic. Um, I do non-fractionated coconut oil for like if I'm wanting more of a salve type thing. Although coconut oil, does melt as soon as it goes on. But if I'm doing something like a blend, my own blends, where I do the fractionated, organic fractionated. I can't think of the blend, and it's in the other room right now. It's in the kitchen. Um, Now I'm on it. This one is for Young Living essential oils. So if you don't use Young Living, the single parts will still be of benefit to you, but understand that Young Living essential oils are the ones that I use. I'm not selling. I don't sign anybody up or anything. I'm just telling you those are the ones that I use. Yeah, right, the parachute pants. Oh, I had a pair, let me tell you, and I thought I was slamming it in those pants. Oh, that's awesome. But I can't think of the name of it now, but I order it from Amazon. It's an organic version. I love it the best. Um, so I'll try to put that link below on this sometime soon. So oh yeah, and the MC Hammer pants, where it had the crotch cut down lower. And all the break dancing, man, I thought I was something. I could like spin on my head. I could do, you know, whatever. I can't remember what that's called anymore. I could do the Michael Jackson moonwalk. I was all of that now. Okay, essential oils. I typically, if I'm going to put them on topically, I go ahead and, like, Rain says that she uses a lot of oils neat. Neat just means you're not using a fatty oil with it. But I typically, just because they can be drying to the skin because they're volatile oils, I just go ahead and use a carrier oil when I'm putting them on. Plus, it makes the oils stretch out further. Like, you can apply them to a wider area, so you're using less of your essential oil, which is more expensive than your carrier oils, like olive oil or avocado oil or coconut oil or whatever it is that you're using. So I typically go ahead, and if I'm going to use 2 or 3, I just put like the half teaspoon of coconut oil in my hand and put the drops of essential oils in my hand with it, blend it together in my hands, and then rub it on, putting it in a bottle like this. So, and I'll label this with what I have in it. You always want to label your bottles because you think you'll remember, but you don't. Honey bourbon essential oil. No, not at this point. There's not, but you could definitely add essential oils to your honey bourbon. Now that would work. Yeah, might make it a little more effective too, Jay Waters. I tell you. Well, anyway. Well, I guess I've got a bunch of cups that I fill. I'm kind of doing like a hydroponic thing. I guess that's what you would call it, gardening terminology. But I've Kang Star, Khang Star, has a channel here on YouTube, and he did a video of how he just has constant lettuce and spinach and stuff growing by growing them in like a solo cup with dirt in it, You have the plant in there. Once the plant, and you cut a hole in the bottom of the solo cup, in the center, about that big around, like a nickel size hole. And you water it from the top, feed it from the top, and then once the roots start growing down through the bottom of that cup, you have that solo cup stacked in another solo cup, and then you just start feeding it from the bottom cup with your hydroponic food liquid solution. And so that's what I'm going to start doing. I've got about 30 solo cups in there cut and then stacked on top of another solo cup with soil in it, like and then so it's ready for me to plant my stuff. So, and I've got one grow light already in there. My husband's gonna hang them up. I just ordered another one. Yeah, Jay, what? But anyway, so I'm going to go and plant a bunch of stuff in there that I'm going to grow inside for an inside garden, since I can't be out in the sun a lot. I haven't been diagnosed with lupus, but I cannot be out in the sun very long. And you can't tell because of the vision, but if I don't wear makeup, you can see like this rash that's kind of like a lupus rash on my face at all times. If I go out in the sun, it makes me so sick, and the rash gets much worse also. So I avoid the sun at most all costs because of that. So I have to take a D supplement constantly to get enough D vitamin. So anyway, I've got all those ready, and I'm gonna plant a bunch of that, and I'll keep y'all updated on those as well. But really simple. Whenever your lettuce or whatever spinach gets up to a good size, yeah, hammer time, right? When your lettuce and stuff gets up to a good size, then you clip it back. You don't clip it all the way down. You don't harvest the whole thing. You just clip it back. Uh-oh. What? CJ, stop. You clip it back, and then you give it a few weeks and let it grow back, and then you just clip it back again. So you just make sure and keep the center of your lettuce or whatever intact in the very center, and it'll grow back. So if you grow a bunch, you clip one, like 1 week, or if you have say you have 4 lettuce plants, you clip a couple of them 1 week. While those are growing back, you clip the other ones the next week, so you have a constant supply of lettuce and all of that. So yeah, no, I'm not doing a late night drink chat. That's not happening. Matter of fact, I don't really drink socially most of the time. I mean, every once in a while I'll have a drink, but I'm not a drinker. My dad was an alcoholic, so I don't ever want to turn into that. So I don't drink socially most of the time. Maybe once a year or something I might have a drink. But normally I just have it for medicinal purposes and stuff like that. But that honey bourbon is great for at least it's a lot smoother and tastes a lot better. It's a lot easier to use for colds and throat issues and stuff like that. So makes it nice. But no, I'm not doing like a drunk chat or nothing like that. Nope, not happening. Oh, I'm going to get off here because in 30 minutes, I think the Texas boys are going to be on. I want to make sure go over and be a part of that. I'm going to go water my plants outside real fast before that. I'm really excited. One of my peach trees I got them. They were bare rooted dormant, and I got them planted after I soaked them for a couple of days. So, Mindy. So anyway, I'm excited because it's got little leaves on it, which means it's alive and it's doing good, and I didn't mess it up when I was planting it. So I'm gonna go out and check and see if I've got any more leaves growing on there. I've got 6 trees out there right now, and I've got a couple more different. I've got an apple tree that's coming that I just ordered too, so I'm excited. No, I'm not showing the relaxer, Jay Watterson. He thinks it looks like a kinky toy, and I'm not showing it again. You just have to deal with it. But thanks for joining me today, guys. I love you all, and I appreciate you, and hope that helped. Remember those that watch my Preppers Powwow chat. We won't be doing a chat this next Thursday because we're remodeling our bathroom, and it's also my daughter's birthday at the end of the week, so I'm going to go do something with her. But the following week, we will start it up with like bug out bags and stuff. But I haven't done a essential oils chat in a while, and so I thought it was kind of nice to just show you how I use them. So anyways, love y'all. Take care, and I will see you later. Have a good week, and if you need prayer, email me or send me a message or something. All right. Love you. Bye.